Western New York. Welcome to another night of NHL action on the Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong page. As tonight, it's an absolute pleasure to get to call this cross-conference matchup between two of the league's most surprising teams, as the Buffalo Sabres welcome the San Jose Sharks to KeyBank Center. Hello, everyone, and my name is Jaric Rubel. Glad to have you with me for this ride tonight. And just a heads up before we dive in, my remote broadcast location here in the Chicagoland area is expected to have severe weather throughout the night, so if the stream does cut out, just know that I have unfortunately lost power on my end. But now to the hockey game. As in Buffalo, there is a feeling around this hockey team, a feeling that this city hasn't experienced in a very, very long time. As for the first time since 2011, the Sabres appear poised to finally snap what is an NHL drought, 14 years. That is an NHL record that they have not made the postseason. They're limping toward the finish line. They're not limping toward the finish line, I should say, this season, as they have been charging through this Eastern Conference with authority, as they have the longest win streak in the NHL since returning from the Olympic break in Milan, as they have a current 7-game win streak. That's the active win streak, longest active win streak in the NHL. And by the way, they are now at the top of the Atlantic Division after beating the Tampa Bay Lightning on a Sunday just 2 nights ago. And it was one of the wildest games of the season, maybe of all time. An 8-7 victory for the Sabres over the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it featured 15 goals, 5 fights, and more than 100 penalty minutes. Exactly the kind of gritty, emotional hockey head coach Lindy Ruff loves to see here in Buffalo. Offensively, the Sabres continued to roll as Jason Zucker scored twice and added an assist in that wild win, and Josh Doan buried 2 goals, including the eventual game winner. That was that 8th goal versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then Buffalo's leading goal scorer, Tage Thompson, kept his incredible run going with 4 assists, stretching his personal point streak now to 11 straight games. And if the Sabres want to keep that same momentum rolling tonight, they'll need to slow down one of the brightest young teams in the league, as the San Jose Sharks are in town, and the spotlight shines equally on phenom Macklin Celebrini at just 19 years old. The dynamic rookie recently starred for the Canadian men's national team at the Olympics, scoring 5 goals and 5 assists during the tournament, and he's been just as dangerous back in the NHL, as Celebrini leads the Sharks with 32 goals and 89 points, placing him among the league's top scorers this season. Celebrini can require the 3rd fewest games to reach the 90-point mark as a teenager in NHL history if he were to record a point tonight. The only players to do so faster are Sidney Crosby, who did so in 54 games back in 2006-2007, and Wayne Gretzky, who did it in 56 games back in 1979 and 80. So the Sharks are fighting for their own postseason hopes as well. They're sitting just outside the Western Conference playoff picture, and San Jose has dropped 2 straight games in overtime, including a tight 2-1 loss to the New York Islanders, but they remain within striking distance of the 2nd wild card spot. So tonight, 2 teams with plenty to play for as they take the ice. Buffalo's trying to keep its historic surge rolling towards the postseason, and San Jose is hoping its young superstar can spark a turnaround here on the road. It's the Sharks and the Sabres that's coming up next. It's tonight's starting goaltenders and, most importantly, puck drop that's on the other side. So stay with us. You're listening to the NHL with Jaric Rubel on the Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong page right here on YouTube. Jaric Rubel back with you here live from Buffalo as the Sabres are set to host the San Jose Sharks here at a clash of the league's two most arguably surprising teams. As we take a look at tonight's goaltending matchup, in goal for the Sabres, Alex Lyon gets the nod, 17-8-3 on the year for him, a 2.64 goals against average, a .915 save percentage, and 2 shutouts on the year. He'll be opposed by Yaroslav Askarov, 19-16-3 on the year for the kid, a 3.52 goals against average, and an .888 save percentage. He's still looking for his first career NHL shutout. So it'll be a fun one here in Buffalo as the Sabres looking to make it 8 wins in a row. The Sharks looking to jump into a playoff spot for at least the time being with a win tonight. It'll be determined if they stay in that spot, if they win, if the Kraken win or lose versus the Predators in their game late tonight that closes out the NHL schedule. So we'll see how the Sabres come out in this game after a massive win and a game that exerted a lot of energy on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the Sharks trying to kick off a tough road trip here on the right note. Buffalo, Ottawa, and Montreal on their radar. 3 tough teams as the Sabres are able to win the opening draw as McLeod beats Gaudreau. So the Sabres control in their own zone as they're attacking left to right in this first period, wearing their royal blue home uniforms with the yellow numbers and yellow lettering as they have their royal blue helmets as well. The Sharks attacking right to left in this first period in their road whites with the teal numbers and lettering with the teal pants as well. In the Sharks defensive zone, Mario Ferraro flips one out to the logo at center, which Jason Zucker coils back with it for the captain Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin was part of a targeting part here by the Tampa Bay Lightning on Sunday, and he handled himself very well, and the Tampa Bay Lightning made it very clear they wanted to test his toughness to see if he's going to be able to hang in the playoffs, as those two teams are inevitably on a crash course of meeting, one would think, likely in the second round. And Dahlin did very well and was able to get a goal in the game as well to make it 7-6 at the time, to make Buffalo down only a goal, and he was able to withstand all the pressure that Tampa threw at him. So back on the ice here in this game, Owen Power of the Buffalo Sabres in the near corner to the left side, moved it up on the near wall, and Ostapchuk will move it up past the penalty boxes. The Sharks turn it back up ice though as Will Smith collects near wing. It's over the Sabre line for Celebrini. Celebrini put it along the wall for Colin Graff. It bounced off his blade to the near corner. Now Will Smith in behind getting sandwiched out of the play by Owen Power, and the Sabres are up ahead with a takeaway, but they'll only get to the blue line before Doan loses it, and the Sharks take back over. Dickinson risks it up the near boards. The Sharks will go ahead to change. So will the Sabres, as we've played a minute 45 seconds here thus far in KeyBank Center. Jaric Rubel, glad you're with me here on the Ultimate Sports Media Watch-Along page. Again, there will be severe area in my area after about the second period, so if the third period goes haywire, you'll know why. As Logan Stanley, his first shift as a Buffalo Sabre, playing defense here, acquired from Winnipeg, fanned on a shot at the blue line, and as the Sharks raced back the other way, they were whistled for an offsides. So with 2:04 gone by, we have the game's first whistle. And with that, let's look at the Sabres lines here this evening. Top line consisting of Tage Thompson between Krebs and Tuck. McLeod centering Zucker and Quinn. Josh Norris between Ostlund and Doan. Carrick between Benson and Malenstein. Deep pairings are Samuelson with Dahlin, Byram with Power, and Stanley with Kesselring. So face off here in neutral ice in front of the penalty boxes. It'll be Eklund against Thompson for this draw, and Thompson pushed it ahead for the Sabres, but the Sharks will get possession. Dickinson up the near wing through neutral ice, couldn't move it free as it's sent back into Shark territory, and now trying again for San Jose's Vincent Desharnais. Got it out to the red line for Eklund, played it far wall, it's wristed on into the zone by Toffoli. Behind the Sabre goal, picked back up by Eklund, played it up to the far point. It's sent this way, Desharnais to Dickinson. Now in the slot, Toffoli's backhanded, it's padded away by the right pad by Alex Lyon. Now Eklund on the rebound on the near wing, goes up to Toffoli covering at the left point. Dickinson, the defenseman, up there as well, trying to keep possession, could not, and now the Sabres are away. Here's Krebs up the far wing into the Shark zone, dropped it at the circle. Kesselring left it for Thompson. Thompson tried to ring it through the defense, could not, and Dickinson will move it to center for San Jose, and Eklund can't get it deep. The Sabres fourth line heads on and dumps it in, and as the Sharks change, the Sabres forecheck goes to work. Malenstein a hit in the near corner that knocked the puck off of Dickinson's blade. It rolled to the far side, and now the Sabres get possession as around the near boards it comes up high to Samuelson. Cross it goes, far circle, Dahlin. Dahlin shooting it, a shoulder save by Askarov, his first save of the game. As behind in the Sharks zone in the trapezoid, it's Dickinson trying to move it along. He got tied up, and now Ferraro's trying to get it free. As 4 bodies, 2 for the Sharks, 2 for the Sabres, go to work behind the San Jose net. We're through 3.5 here in this scoreless first period. Puck now kicked to the near corner. Trying to lodge it loose as Jaric for Buffalo, and it came up the near wing. Dahlin's there, and he got ran into but kept possession. Sent it back down low to Jaric in the near corner to our right. Behind the goal, Benson in the far corner, spinning free of Ferraro. Backhanded it up now to Dahlin. This way it comes, and a one-timer shut down by Askarov with the left pad. Rebound to the near corner. Jaric trying to center, couldn't quite get it to Benson, and now the puck shot out of play by the Sharks, but it was deflected, says the officials, and that will cause a stoppage with 16:04 remaining in the first period. The officiating staff tonight, by the way, Peter McDougall with Garrett Rank are the referees. The linesmen, David Brisebois with James Tobias. Look here at the Sharks lines before this upcoming faceoff. Top line of Celebrini, Smith, and Graff. Misa on the second line with Toffoli and Eklund, a new generation of that 70s line, as that was very familiar with the LA Kings about 12 years ago. Wenberg with Kurashev and Sherwood. Ostapchuk with Goudreau and Gaudet. Now Kurashev's able to win a draw to the left of his goaltender Askarov, and up the near wing it goes for the Sharks. Wenberg to wrist into the Sabres zone, but now they come up with a loose puck, the Sabres do, and they're on the race the other way. Quinn up the logo, send it far wing, Zucker back to Quinn, a shot, he scores! What a play off the rush by the Sabres, and Zucker feeds Quinn on the near side for the game's opening goal. Well, Jack Quinn gets goal number 13 on the year. He got hurt in the game versus Tampa, but was healthy to get back in there tonight. And he gets the game's opening marker, snapping one past the blocker side of Askarov, moving to his left, and had no shot at that shot by Quinn that went just under the crossbar. So the Sabres, off a good transition game, get the all-important first goal here tonight. When scoring first this year, the Sabres are 28-4-1. The Sharks 11-8-3 when giving up the game's first goal. So we're off to a rip-roaring start here in Buffalo, as here they come again off the ensuing faceoff. Power over the Shark line to the near wall. Doan getting knocked off the play by Graff. And now in the near corner, they battle for it to our right. Able to knock Doan off the puck was Mook Medulin. And now the Sharks up the far wing send it this way to the near side for Graff. Graff down to the near corner behind the Sabre net, hit there by Byram, and now a battle for it behind the Buffalo goal. Trying to dig it, Friesbo and Byram. He will, as he skates out of the far corner down to our left, and it's played up to his defense partner Power, who chips it over the Shark line and into the zone, as the Sabres make changes with now 5 minutes gone by in period 1. 1-0 lead in favor of the Sabres, thanks to Jack Quinn, as the Sharks now look for the equalizer, racing up the near left wing. Wenberg into the zone, got poke checked nicely by Samuelson, but he misplayed the puck. Kurashev can't grab it. Now it's bunted up to the point. Dickinson, a shot and a save made by Lyon, closing up the wickets and getting it with the paddle. Rebound to the far wall. Krebs behind the goal. It's Samuelson wristing it up the near boards, and now Alex Tuck circles back and takes a look. Gallops over the red line. Now the Sharks blue. Dropped it straight away. Thompson, far circle. Dahlin, a shot went through the blue paint to the near corner. Rode up the boards to Samuelson. Back across Dahlin. They'll trade spots on defense. Dahlin long wrister. They score! Alex Tuck on the redirect, and Buffalo's up 2-0 quickly. So Alex Tuck in his 600th NHL game tonight gets his 300th point with the Buffalo Sabres, as he deflected a long wrister by Rasmus Dahlin with a perfect screen on top of the blue paint against Askarov, and he got that puck at crossbar height and knocked it past the glove hand of the Shark netminder. So Alex Tuck with goal 28 on the year, point 57. And the Sabres are off and rolling. And this crowd in Western New York is buzzing, as they've waited such a long time to have a great hockey team. Now off the ensuing face-off at center, it's won again by the Sabres. This time the fourth line as Jaric goes to work on the forecheck. It's in front right away. Askarov had to get a glove on that as he takes a whistle with 14:13 remaining in the first period. So the first of two meetings here between these two teams. Last time they met was in March of last year as San Jose defeated these Sabres in this building 6-2. As these two teams will meet again on March 19th in San Jose. And right now, Buffalo off to a strong start here in this first period. They're outscoring teams 68-60 now in the opening 20. Off the draw to the right of Askarov. Stanley had a shot that broke a stick, came to the near wall for Benson. Up high, Kesselring a shot and a save made by Askarov as the Sabres just look so dominant here against this Sharks team that's still trying to find their way. Now, a dump in by Kesselring appears to have deflected out of play. So with 13:56 remaining in the opening period, that'll send us to our first time out here in this broadcast. Jack Quinn and Alex Tuck, the goal scorers for the Sabres, as they lead it 2-0 over the Sharks. You're listening to NHL Hockey right here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. Back here in Buffalo, where the Sabres lead the San Jose Sharks here by a score of 2-0 here through the first 6 minutes of period number 1. Jaric Rubel, glad you're with me here live on the Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong YouTube page. As these Sabres have earned at least a point in 14 of their last 16 games. They're 13-2-1 over that stretch, including wins in each of their last 7 games. It marks the 4th time in franchise history that the Sabres have earned multiple winning streaks of 7 games or more in a single season. They also did so in 2006, in 1984, and in 1976. So it's been a long time coming here for the Sabres. So we're back underway with them up 2-0 over the San Jose Sharks, as the Sharks in their own defensive zone will play it behind their net. Again, the Sharks defensive zone down to our right, as a puck sent up the near left wing gets up in possession of Kesselring, and the Sabres will look back here in their own zone and wait for a breakout. Kesselring up the far wing now with it, played it off the stick of Malenstein, came behind the Shark goal, where on the near wing, Dickinson played it to center. Barclay Goodrow tried to direct it along, came into Buffalo ice, and in the far corner, Bo and Byram will drop it back for Owen Power. So big Owen Power through center as he circles back now as he's waiting for his team to change. As on a swing play on the near wing, McLeod wants it. Not sure if he'll get it as Power still waits. Now goes to Byram. Byram on the far wing gets it up on the far wing for Quinn to tip it in. To the far corner of the Shark zone it goes. Klingberg played it ahead, won't go anywhere. Byram takes it away. Quinn tried to center, came around the near boards to Zucker. Zucker at the half boards, left it for McLeod. He tried to play it out to the far point. It's picked off by the Sharks. And on the near wing, Smith played it for Orlov, who can't quite get it. And Zucker and the Sabres will recollect. On the far wing, a turnover. Graf a backhander, not on net. And Zucker will get that loose puck in the slot and play it on the near wing. Quinn goes rink wide, can't hit Byram. Sharks back on the counterattack. Celebrini on the near wing with a loose puck. Tried to play it across for Graf. It bounced over his blade. Byram with it now. End to end we go. Far wing over the Shark line is McLeod going to the near wing now. puts on the brakes, tried to leave it at the point, had it taken away. Smith now up the near wing, over the Sabre line, tried to play it in the slot. Celebrini takes it, gives it back to Smith near corner. In the slot, Mukmadulin shot, stick save made by Lyon to the near corner it goes. Now here's Will Smith again, centering it on top of the paint, intercepted by Dahlin. Dahlin up the near wing for Ostlund. He'll wrist it on in now. The Sabres will head to change. Sharks collect in their own end. Mukmadulin pivoting in the far corner against Doan. Played it away from him out the center. Toffoli, a bank pass into the zone. Might be icing on the foot race. No, the linesman waves it off, and Eklund goes hard into the far corner boards. But the Sharks keep possession. Backhanding it down low towards Eklund. He dives to keep it in. And at the blue line, no, sir, says Misa, as it bounced off his blade. And the Sharks have to turn back. Now Mario Ferraro in his own zone. Up the near wing, goes over the Sabre line, going into it in his own end is Kesselring for the Sabres. Played it behind the goal for Stanley, turned it over, and now the Sharks back in, near circle, Eklund, a shot, save made by Lyon, as he gets a round of applause here from the Sabre faithful. So Logan Stanley, if you're a Sabre fan, you're going to end up seeing a lot of that on the back end. He's not great with the puck on his stick. He's definitely more of just a big body physical presence. And right there was a moment in where I've seen plenty of times in Winnipeg. He just struggles to make the right play in his own defensive zone to move the puck out. And that was an instant there where the turnover almost resulted in a goal in his team, against his team. So face off here to the right of Alex Lyon. As in steps Kurashev as Wenberg gets tossed. He'll go up against Tage Thompson. And a bouncing puck will be eventually grabbed up the near wing by Kesselring and the Sabres. Played into Shark territory. Behind the goal line it rolls. Klingberg will pick it up with Krebs pressing against him, force the puck free. And now Sherwood at the logo can't grab it, neither can Wenberg, as between the benches now the Sabres will take it and play it back. Stanley goes this way for Kesselring, played it over the logo to be tipped in by Thompson. And no, he didn't tip it, said the linesman. Looked like he did from my vantage point, but an icing whistle is called. And with 10:54 to go in the first, a Shark faceoff is coming up in the offensive zone. So these San Jose Sharks last time out took one on the chin against the New York Islanders. They lost 2-1 in overtime. Celebrini, though, extended his point streak to 5 games, has goals in 3 straight and 4 out of his last 5. But unfortunately for them, not able to get that extra point in overtime. And overtime is where they've thrived this year, as they have 12 wins in overtime this year. Is off the draw. Right on that is Graff, and a save made by Lyon. As a face-off to his right, he had to be ready right away. As the Sharks are pressing, Celebrini gets free at the far circle on Thompson. He drives in and he can't get the shot free out of poke check. Now Mukmadulin to Ferraro. Played it back to the far corner. As Celebrini, with one heck of a move, just couldn't get the shot free. It would have been a highlight reel goal, I bet, if he could. But the Sharks come up empty-handed on that offensive zone opportunity as the Sabres get it back to center. So this top line will try again on the re-entry. Celebrini near boards for Smith to wrist it in. Around the goal it goes. Lyon wants to play it. He'll shoot it off the far boards. It rides the stanchion to Benson. Benson on the far left wing over the Shark line. Has 3 guys around him. Dropped it in the slot. Here's Power. Across it goes, and a backhand and a save made by Askarov on Malenstein, who has 1 goal in 1 game against Askarov. He's the only Sabre to have seen this netminder before, and he has scored against him, and he almost got his 2nd goal there. So the Sabres back in their own end with under 10 minutes now to go in the first period. 9:42 to be exact. As through center on the near right wing, Benson will tip a puck into San Jose ice, and the trapezoid Desharnais will shoot it off the far side glass. Doesn't get out of the zone though. Malenstein from the wing will play it behind for Benson. Touch pass in front for McLeod. He backhands it up high. Now here's Samuelson waiting, tried a shot that got blocked in the skates of Sherwood, or I should say Gaudette. As now Gaudette on the far wing will flip it into Buffalo ice, and the Sabres will retreat back. So in their own end, Dahlin up the near right wing, has it get tipped in by Quinn. Askarov out to play it, backhands it right to neutral. And now Dahlin will play it back across the logo for Samuelson. 9 minutes even to go in this first period. Jaric Rubel with you on the Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong YouTube page as the Sabres turn it over the Shark line. On the near wing comes Eklund free. Eklund tried to drop it in the slot, but there was Dahlin all over Toffoli, and the Sharks come up empty-handed on that rush again. Quinn will backhand it over the Sabre logo, and now Klingberg will take it back. and it goes off a skate into Sabre ice. No icing, says the linesman. Dahlin can't play it, but Power helps him out as he'll play it up the near boards. Ostlund trying to get it out for Buffalo. Ferraro trying to keep it in for San Jose. The Sabres do get possession, though. Dahlin will just play it behind his own net for Power on the other side, and now Owen Power plays it right over the logo for Doan to tip it in. Far corner into San Jose ice it goes. Norrison after it, tied up with Mukhamadullin in the far corner. Kurashev also tried to pry it free. He will, behind his own net. Touched it across, and now Mukhamadullin played it back to the near corner, and Mario Ferraro take a look, and up the left wing boards he goes. To the logo it's touched for the Sharks, and Sherwood got tied up over the Buffalo line, and that allows Doan back up on the far left wing into San Jose ice. Pulls up at the circle, flung it towards the net, got blocked in the slot by Mukhamadullin. Near wall now up the left wing is Wenberg for San Jose. Over the Buffalo line, Krebs tried to deliver a hit, lodged the puck free, but it's still in possession of the Sharks, but now Sherwood's poke checked, and Krebs plays it up the near boards. The Sharks now reset in their own zone as Sherwood at his own blue line played it back to Dickinson, as Dickinson now looks for a lane. Over the logo he goes. It's tipped in by Celebrini, who's back on the ice. The Sabres here have not had a shot on goal in about 3 minutes, which is notable as they were all over San Jose in the first 10, as the Sharks here have had a couple of good chances off the rush. They just couldn't get the shots on net. As now a turnover here for Smith. Played it down low. Celebrini scores! Macklin Celebrini gets his 90th point on the campaign, and it comes off a Sabre turnover, and Smith finds him on top of the blue paint for the Capitalize. So it was Bowen Byram trying to escape his own zone, or I should say, yeah, it was Byram on the feed from Tuck, and then Byram played it up the far boards, and it was cut off by Will Smith. And Celebrini was in behind the Sabre defense and put a backhander right under the blocker of Alex Lyon. And a San Jose has gotten one back with Macklin Celebrini's 33rd goal of the year, his 90th point. And he now has goals in 4 straight games. And he's back on the ice for the ensuing faceoff in which the Sharks have possession of. He's tied up between the benches as now Graf poked it free, but right to Dahlin as he goes this way for Samuelson, and the Sabres tip it right out of play. It was in neutral ice at the red line, so it won't be a penalty. But it will send us to break here with 6:45 to go in the first period. Sharks and Sabres in a fun one here early in Western New York. Goals by Quinn for the Buffalo Sabres. Also getting one was Alex Tuck, and then it was Celebrini for the San Jose Sharks. 3 goals in this first period. We'll see if we get any more when we return. Welcome back to Western New York, where it's a fun one early here between the Sabres and the Sharks. Jaric Rubel, glad you're with me here on the Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong YouTube page, as we have 3 goals, 2 by the Sabres, 1 by the Sharks. Quinn and Tuck for the Sabres, and Celebrini got his 90th point and 33rd goal of the year just before the break to cut that Sabre lead in half. Back underway here with 6:35 to go in the first period, played down to our right in the near corner, where it came up to the blue line for Samuelson to ring back around the goal. On the far wall, the Sharks can't get it out as it's kept Dahlin, thrown to the goal. Ostapchuk easily held there by Askarov as he saw that all the way. So 6:21 to go with that whistle. Face-off coming up here again in the D zone for the San Jose Sharks. So Macklin Celebrini having a historic sophomore season. He ranks 5th in the NHL with 90 points now in just 62 games. He recently logged his 4th outing of 4 or more points against Montreal last week, as he, in that 7-5 win against the Canadiens, dominated, and he had a 13-game point streak as well from December 11th through January 10th, and he's on another point streak here now, as in this game after scoring that goal, he currently has points in 6 straight games, as he's close to getting halfway to that streak he had earlier this year. So the Sharks in their own zone after a whole lot of nothing just transpired. Will exit the center. Mario Ferraro tried to feed Wenberg, but that got cut off as it hit him in the shoulder. And on the near wings, Thompson. Over the Shark line he goes, pulls up in the slot. His shot got blocked by Ferraro. That stung him, but he's back in the play, no problem. It's on the near wing, poked it off Benson's blade. Tuck holds right point. Played it behind the Shark goal. Down to our right, of course. Thompson trying to pry it free. Got it, but it came to Sherwood. But now the Sharks can't keep it. Here's a centering pass. Tuck shot it wide on the blocker side. Behind the goal, it comes to Thompson. Far wall, it's Benson out here with the top line. Played it back to the near point for Bowen Byram. To the near corner. Looking to center is Power. Short side shot, and that hit the crossbar as he had room on the short side. He saw the room he had, but just hit it off the iron. Now the Sharks are able to clear, as out at center ice, Kurashev wants to change, so he gives it back to Wenberg, and now he defers to Ferraro, as now the Sharks get a new forward group on the ice. The 70s lines over the boards, reincarnated in a new California jersey, as in the near corner, Misa gets sandwiched into the boards by Kesselring. Kesselring got it free to Quinn on the near wing. He moved it along. Zucker's touch pass finds Stanley. He lofts one into the near corner down to our right in San Jose ice, as Zucker sandwiched off the puck by Desharnais, but Desharnais turns it over. Back behind Zucker, looking to center from the trapezoid, being hounded by Dickinson, protecting in that near corner, left it nicely for McLeod, centered in the slot. Quinn touched it back for Kesselring. Long wrist shot deflected right out of play off of Zucker's stick, as he points at Kesselring, saying that's what he wanted. Just didn't get the deflection on net. We'll go to one last break. 4:29 to go in the first period. Sabres lead at 2-1 live on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. home stretch of the first period here in Buffalo, where they lead it 2-1 over the San Jose Sharks. Jaric Rubel here with you on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. So you can see on the top of your screen on the scorebook, that's my name. And that's exactly what this stream is. It's an NHL watch-along as we are looking forward for this push to the playoffs. And off the draw, we're getting a scrap right at center ice. Logan Stanley versus Zach Ostapchuk. They're going to gather right away. Stanley's got the height advantage. He's throwing rights. They're now tied up. Big right there from Ostapchuk. That sends Stanley to the ice. Now he's on his knees wailing, and the linesman will step in there to break it up. As even on his knees, Logan Stanley still had the reach, as he's a big dude on the back end for the Sabres, as he stands in at 6'7", 231, but Zach Ostapchuk standing in at 6'4", 212, knocked him down as he hit him with a hard right hand that put Stanley on his knees at center ice. So those two went right at it at the red line. We're getting another replay here. I want to see the end of this fight more so than the start of it, as Stanley had a couple of good rights, but then Ostapchuk ended up landing one while they were kind of twisting up, and that sent Stanley right down. But those two guys with a heavyweight tilt, each of them got a couple of right hands in. Just Stanley was the one who fell to his knees. So they'll each sit for 5 minutes. That was a good one, though. Between those two is the face-off to the right of Askarov, won by the Sabres. Dahlin, long flip shot, blocked down to the far corner off Gaudette. Played up ahead by Desharnais. Gaudette collects in front of the benches. Has Dickinson breaking in far wing. Backhanded to the net. Went in behind to the near corner. Here's Celebrini up the boards near the point. Spinning. Took a hit there from Malenstein that knocked him on his wallet. Here's another fight. As Malenstein now is going to go at it with Goodrow, who's coming to the aid of Celebrini. Now Goodrow has him pretty much in a chokehold with his left arm up against the boards, as he can't really get Malenstein to allow himself to get free, as now nobody here really has an angle to throw punches, as Goodrow's protecting himself here, as this one's more of just a hug fest, as still neither guy's gonna do anything, and now the linesmen say we'll separate. But Barclay Goodrow did what he had to do there. He had to step in to help his teammate Macklin Celebrini, who got hit by a freight train named Beck Malenstein at the blue line in the Sabres D zone. And Goodrow jumped right in, no exceptions, dropped the gloves instantaneously. And of course, not a whole lot happened during that fight. Maybe a right or two connected from each guy, but it didn't really look too powerful. But we've had two fights here in the last couple of minutes, not even couple of minutes, after Celebrini there gets blasted by Beck Malenstein. So this Sabres team's playing heavy hockey. We've got back-to-back games here. We're in the first period, 2+ fights. I mean, we saw 3 good ones in the opening period against Tampa over on Sunday, and now we have 2 here in the first period against the Sharks on Tuesday. The first one, excellent. Second one, however, not so much, but it looks like Goodrow is not going to serve the penalty unless he's going to get an instigator, and he's going to the, he is getting an instigator, so the Sabres are going to the power play, as right off the draw, Thompson's going to play it on net, and now it'll be along the near boards, so we didn't even have time to discuss, but the Sabres are on a power play, as an instigator penalty was given to Barclay Goodrow, but he's in the locker room, as there's less than 5 minutes remaining, and he has a fighting major. So the Sharks in their own end, Askarov coming out to challenge Doan on top of the paint, as now the Sharks do want to get chippy. We'll see how it works out. Meanwhile, the Sabres still at work in the O zone. Up to the far point, it's played for Benson. Back to Dahlin, far circle. Dances to the slot. Up high it goes Tage. Tage to the far wall. The pass is behind Norris, as Josh Norris looks over the traffic from the far half boards. Down low, he gets a return pass and looks again. Now it's touched back from Zucker to Norris. Far point Dahlin. Dahlin sends it this way to Thompson. Back up high in the slot. Now it's Norris. Long wrist shot deflected through the blue paint on the near side. It's cleared out by Ferraro. And Norris has to reset at center. A minute left on this power play for the Sabres. As they reset at the logo, it's Doan circling into the Shark zone. He's trying to split the D. He couldn't. It's grabbed by San Jose and cleared. As now back in the Buffalo end, Lyon will leave it for Byram. 1:45 remaining on the power play and 2:45 remaining in the first period. Here's Quinn flying through center, got poked at the Shark blue line. Sabres retry. Here's McLeod, sent it back this way. Quinn's in on the near wing. He bunted it back as he was falling, couldn't get it to tuck though as it went back through center and into Buffalo ice yet again. So 23 seconds remain on the power play as Jack Quinn from his own blue line on the far wing crosses over the logo at center. Now the Shark blue near Wallet's Tuck. Tuck protecting at the circle. Along the boards now McLeod trying to trade spots with Ostland. He does. McLeod again near circle looking over the traffic. 5 seconds left on the power play. McLeod still near circle. Down low Ostapchuk. Back to McLeod at the dot. Looking. Sent it across, intercepted there by the Sharks, and out of the box comes Gaudette, who is serving the penalty pass ahead for him, but it's out of his reach, and it'll result in an icing here on San Jose. But back to 5-on-5 we go, as they were able to survive that Buffalo power play. So ozone draw forthcoming for the Buffalo Sabres after that icing, as they try and extend their lead to 3-1 here before the end of period 1, as we're now under 2 minutes to go in this opening frame. Face off to the left of Askarov, tied up in the slot. Krebs falling on it. Puck came free. Sharks will send it down the ice. This should be another icing. It won't be. It's right on goal. So instead, Alex Lyon played it right up to the red line for Carrick to hammer into Shark ice. Klingberg now around the near side, kept in by Samuelson. Played it back behind the Shark goal down to our right. In the near corner, Krebs flings it back to the right point. Samuelson across for Power. Backs it down low, as now it's blocked ahead by Smith, and now sent ahead for Celebrini. Over the red line, now the Sabre Blue on the near left wing, puts on the brakes on Samuelson, left it at the circle for Klingberg, back Celebrini's one-timer, missed to the far circle. In front, Orlov tipped it just wide through the blue paint. Smith again. To the near side, here's Klingberg walking the blue line. Long wrister goes off the end boards. Cleaned up by Owen Powers. Sabres up on the far wing, but a touch pass got turned over, and Orlov sends the Sharks right back in. But Will Smith makes a bad pass, but having trouble with it's Carrick. But Samuelson able to get it to Doan. Doan now turned it over. Celebrini ahead, Graf, a backhander, and he couldn't get it on net as the puck was bobbling on him as it went wide to the near side. Now with under 45 seconds to go in the first period, a battle for it behind the Sabre net. It's free to Alex Lyon's right, as now it's tied up again, still in the trapezoid, but more close to the pie slice. Trying to get it free for the Sharks is Celebrini. He pried it loose, and he gets it in the near corner. Under 30 seconds to go now in the first. In front, it's tipped by Graf and just wide to the glove side. Here's Ferraro out of the far corner. Behind for Graf. Looking to center, came to the near circle. Orlov played it back around the goal. It bounces off the side of the net, and the Sharks trying to get it. They will. Misa on a line change with 10 seconds left in the period. Fed it across. It deflects to the far corner. Eklund tried to get it on net. to Foley rug it around the goal. Final 4 of the period, as Carrick will just send it down the ice. That'll do it as we head to the first intermission in a good one out here in Buffalo, as the Sabres got off to a quick start as they went up 2-0 over the Sharks in the first 5.5 minutes, as it was Jack Quinn in the first 4:12 striking for his 13th of the year on a nice rush set up by McLeod between Quinn and Zucker, who had a give-and-go play. And then it was Alex Tuck on a tip from a Dahlin shot. Out from between the circles, Tuck set up a nice screen and was able to get the tip from the crossbar height under the blocker of Askarov. And then for the San Jose Sharks, Macklin Celebrini's 33rd goal of the year, his 90th point of the campaign, assisted by Will Smith. And the Sharks and Sabres each could have had more than they had as well in this period. Shots were only 8-5, but the chances surely felt like they were good ones, as both goaltenders Askarov and Lyon with strong saves in this game, as well a pair of fights that we had in this first period, as it was Ostapchuk and Stanley going at it first, then Goodrow and Malenstein, and it was all because Malenstein lit up Macklin Celebrini with a heavy hit, and Barclay Goodrow came to the aid of his superstar, which is what you're supposed to do, And that was the story of period number 1. After the first period, when leading this season, the Buffalo Sabres, they only have 1 loss. They have 20 wins and 1 loss on the season, none coming in overtime. And when trailing after the first period this year, the San Jose Sharks are 4-11-2. Not the best numbers, but their response in this game after giving up 2 quick goals and also getting beat up pretty good. The Sabres are hitting pretty good. They responded pretty well. Macklin Celebrini's goal came off a turnover. The Sabres have turned the puck over a few times in this first period. So we'll see if the Sabres keep that going. They don't want to, but I've seen a lot of that out of them in this first period, and the Sharks have capitalized with some good chances, and we'll see what the period of the long change will bring, as that only makes sloppiness more brutal in your defensive zone. So I'll be back for the start of the second period. Don't go anywhere. It is a Tuesday night stream here, a watch-along in the National Hockey League that sees the Buffalo Sabres leading the San Jose Sharks 2-1 through the first 20 minutes. Again, my name is Jaric Rubel, and I'll be back with you for the start of period number 2 in 14 minutes. I'll see you guys then. Welcome back into Buffalo, where we began the second period of play between the Sabres and the Sharks, in which the Sabres lead 2-1 through the first 20 minutes of play. My name is Jaric Rubel, delighted to be with you here tonight for this game between the two most exciting surprise teams of the season. As again, a friendly reminder before the second period begins, after this period, I am expected to have some severe weather in my area. So again, if the stream cuts out, just assume I lost power. Hope that doesn't happen, but just a heads up for anybody who is tuning in throughout the entire stream. But goals in that first period. Buffalo's Jack Quinn opened the scoring, 4-12 in, his 13th of the year from Zucker and McLeod. Then Tuck on a tip from Dahlin's shot. Samuelson, the secondary assist. And then Macklin Celebrini, 33rd of the year from Will Smith off a turnover by Bowen Byram. So penalty boxes get filled again as Ostapchuk and Goodrow continue to serve the rest of their fighting majors. Stanley will do the same, and Malenstein for the Buffalo Sabres. So the Sabres in this second period will be attacking right to left, and the Sharks will be going left to right in the period of the long change here this second period, as we got a nice long pause before the faceoff. Now we're underway as the Sharks control. No camera angle as to who won the draw, but I could only assume it was Wenberg, as he's the center out there right now for the Sharks. But puck at the Sharks' blue line, as Wenberg, wearing the A on his sweater, goes across to John Klingberg. Klingberg now up the far wall, backhands it over the Sabre blue line. It'll roll to the right behind the trapezoid for Lyon to control. And now it'll be Samuelson looking for Dahlin. Goes off his blade at the red line, lofted it to the far wing onside into the Shark zone. Jack Quinn being knocked out of the play there by Kurashev, but a free puck for McLeod in behind in the trapezoid. Looking to center. Got it back to himself, far corner. Played it to a vacant point, though, as Samuelson wasn't there. And now he's going to have to skate all the way back in his own zone as Lyon leaves him the biscuit. Samuelson in his own end got almost turned over there. Celebrini made him turn around and almost coughed it up, but the Sabres stay with it, and on the far wing comes Josh Doan, driving behind the net, threw it in front, came through the circles back to center, and Buffalo once again will have to retreat back. So here's Owen Power, number one overall pick after Rasmus Dahlin was taken. So they got two number one overall pick defensemen here on this blue line in Buffalo, as it's only a matter of time, like I thought a couple of years ago, before this team broke through with all their just size and skill, and that's exactly the type of build this roster has at the moment. As Josh Norris, brought over in a trade last year with Ottawa, lost the puck. It's a trade that sent Dylan Cousins to the Ottawa Senators, one of those so-called hockey trades that have benefited both teams. Norris has been great for the Sabres when he's been healthy, as he's only played 26 games this year, but he has 23 points in those games, and he's back into the zone on the far wing now, centered for Power. His wrist shot save made with the right pad by Askarov. Rebound on the near wing, and Graff will corral out to center. Got it over the red line, and now it's dumped in by Toffoli to the Sabres zone. Up the far wall it goes. Ferraro, a quick snapshot stick to the near wall by Lyon. Puck held in by Toffoli at the point. Played it on top of the paint. Misa tried to deflect it. Couldn't. Benson grabs it, and he races up the left side for the Sabres. Lost it now as he got near the red line, and the Sharks take it back. Misa picks his pocket. Now on the far wing, he left it for Eklund. He lost it, but now located it and played it right behind where Dahlin has to deal with two San Jose Sharks in his kitchen, but gets the puck safely to Benson. And now it's back behind the Sabre goal to our right for Power. Power up the near left wing. Dahlin will play it ahead. Thompson will tip it in. Behind the Shark goal it'll go. Dickinson misplayed it, but now is able to locate it as Tuck overskated as well, as he looks from the far corner down to our left. Flipped it out to center. At the logo, Sherwood gloved it to himself. No hand pass, but he played it right to a Sabre on his regular pass. And Kesselring from his own blue line played it ahead to Quinn at the logo. Near wing, here's Krebs with a shot that was blocked away by Askarov from a tough angle with his left arm, as it careens back on out to center. Krebs again from in front of the penalty boxes will wrist it back in. Here's Askarov from behind his net. Shot it right out of play. That one will be a delay of game. And look out now as Desharnais and Carrick are getting in each other's kitchen, as now a crowd gathers here to the right of Askarov, but that is a delay of game penalty on the Shark netminder, and I could only imagine Adam Gaudette's going to have to go serve his second penalty of the night, in which he did not take. So it'll be a power play coming up here for the Sabres. Wonder if Desharnais going to get a penalty here perhaps on the replay. This whole skirmish started because he just kind of tripped up Carrick from behind after the whistle. And is he going to go to the box? It looks like he just might be. And I just want to get confirmation before I put it on the board. But I want to see what type of power play this is going to be for the Sabres. Because if this is a 5-on-3, this is an opportunity to really break this game open against the Sharks penalty kill that's middle of the pack. They're 15th in the NHL. As right now, there's no graphic on my screen or word of anybody in the penalty box. And it looks like there's not going to be a power play. So I guess excuse me on Askarov shooting that puck out of play. But we saw no replay of anything that happened. And now a puck will roll to him that he just covers. But from everything I saw, he shot it right out of the near side in the corner. And the referee pointed to him and everything, but it looks like they decided no penalty. So we remain 5 skaters aside. So I apologize for the confusion. But 16:44 remains here in the second period. Sabres up 2-1. And a face-off here to the left of Askarov between Ostlund for Buffalo and Celebrini for the Sabres. Or for the Sharks, I should say, as the Sabres win the draw, but turn it right over immediately. And now Will Smith will have trouble getting over the Sabre blue line. So now Bowen Byram plays it right back to the red. Ostlund tipped it in. Doan directed it to the net. It stick to the far quarter by Askarov. Up the boards, Norris. Lost it. Celebrini takes it. Off he goes on the far left wing. 3-on-2 developing. Celebrini over the line. Played it in the slot. Graf can't grab it as it's knocked away cleanly by Josh Doan. Now it's taken away. Graf again. Back to him in the far circle, but it went past him. And now Orlov tried a shot that shattered the stick of Josh Doan. And meanwhile, Celebrini grabs that puck on the far wall. In the slot for Smith. Back to the near circle. Here's Celebrini going across and a shot save Lyon on Orlov. And now Tuck on the rebound is going to shoot it off the near glass and it'll deflect out of play with 15:55 to go in the second period. So the Sharks here with a heck of an opportunity on the back door. That was set up by Celebrini, but they were unable to find the back of the net. Shots are 10-6 here in favor of the Sabres in this game as the top line's on the ice here for this faceoff that's coming up to the left of their netminder Alex Lyon. So Tage Thompson, Olympic gold medalist with Team USA, steps in against Michael Misa, the second overall pick from last summer's draft, and Misa wins the draw clean. To the back, Mook Medulin, far wall Ferraro. His shot blocked by Alex Tuck. He goes up the far boards, but right to Ferraro's stick, who directs it right back to Sabre Ice to our right. In the trapezoid, Kesselring gets tied up, but the puck goes up the far wall. Tuck can't get it out, and the Sharks play it back down low. Here's Misa in the trapezoid. Played it up the near wall. Mook Medulin has it at the right point. Backhands it right where it came from. In that trapezoid now is Toffoli tied up with Kesselring. 5 bodies in behind. The puck comes to Stanley. Stanley up the near boards. Guess what? He found a shark. Am I surprised? No. Misa playing it to the far circle. Came right to Tuck. He sends it out to center, and it deflects into the benches. And another whistle for a puck out of play with 15:15 to go in the second period. Never want to be negative in terms of talking about a player, but I mean, I just can't help but realize how brutal Logan Stanley is. I mentioned it in the first period. When the puck's on his stick, you better pray, if you're a Sabre fan, that it ends up on a Sabre teammate's stick once he decides to do something with it. And there's another one right there that showed that he has a hard time getting out of his defensive zone. Logan Stanley was brought in from the Winnipeg Jets with Luke Schenn in exchange for Jacob Bryson and Isaac Rosen, and a 4th-round pick in the upcoming NHL draft, and a 2nd-rounder in the 2027 NHL draft. So we'll see how that trade ends up panning out for the Sabres. I did not like Stanley and Schenn in Winnipeg last year, as you could go back on my personal YouTube channel. Jaric Rubel is out, hold up. Malenstein going to come in, try to make a move on Dickinson. He shoots, he scores! Beck Malenstein, what on earth? 3-1, Sabres. So I mentioned earlier, Beck Malenstein's the only Sabre who's seen Askarov so far in his short NHL career. He has a goal against him, and he was able to get a puck at the Shark blue line and get a stick battle against Dickinson to go in his favor as he played it through the defenseman Dickinson's leg, nutmegged him, and ended up through the slot, snapping one past the glove side of Askarov, who catches with his right hand. And the Sabres' fourth line with a highlight reel goal makes it 3-1 on home ice. So under 15 minutes to go in the second period as play resumes. As between the benches, the Sabres' Dahlin will send it right back into San Jose ice. Askarov wanted to play it, almost turned it over to Zucker, but there to help him out was Zach Ostapchuk. On the near wall now, it'll be played out to center by Klingberg. Dahlin quickly backhands it the other way. This should be icing, and it will be with 14:25 to go in the second period. So I want to see if we get another replay here of this Malenstein goal, as it was his 6th goal of the year, 10th point on the campaign, and it doesn't quite look like we'll get another replay of it, but what a sensational job by Beck Malenstein to get past Dickinson and play it through the puck through his legs and generate his own breakaway opportunity. Face off to the right of Lyon. Going to be won by the Sabres. Dahlin from behind his own net for Zucker on the near boards. Has trouble with it, but Dahlin able to safely get it through center. But to nobody's surprise, here's another icing. So the theme of this period, puck out of play and icings. And I'm looking behind me. I can't tell if I see lightning out in the distance. I thought I saw a flash behind me. I'm sure you guys will get a good show if the storm ends up coming through here at the end of this second period. But again, just a reminder, if the stream does randomly crash, know the severe weather has taken me out of this game. But the Sabres win another draw to the right of Lyon, almost turn it over, but fortunately for them, Dahlin's able to get it back, play it up by the penalty boxes for Zucker to kitty corner one to the far side of the Shark zone. Bounces there for Celebrini, who has nobody else around him, as he freely skates to the near side for Klingberg to take the puck. Klingberg tried to pass it, went off a Celebrini skate. Thompson's roaring in, a breakaway, and a save rebound, put it off the side of the net. Now a wraparound try by Benson, shut down Askarov. Far circle, the puck's free for Byram. Back along the far boards, it's Benson. From up high, he tried a shot, it's blocked, and now Celebrini trying to take it the other way, couldn't, as him and Smith could have had a 2-on-1. But now the Sabres send it back into the Shark zone, and Klingberg ladles one back through into Sabre ice. It's gonna go for an icing. So after a bunch of icings, we had some fun, but now play is stopped again for another icing. But Klingberg tried to get out of his own zone, and he played one, was intended to go across to his defense partner Orlov, but it went off the back skate of Celebrini, and that puck just sat right at the Shark blue line for Thompson to scorch on in, and his backhander stopped by the outstretched right pad of Askarov, and then the rebound try put off the side of the net. Sharks win a D-zone draw to the right of Askarov, and out through center comes Will Smith, but as far as he'll get as the Sabre blue line is on the near side in front of the penalty boxes. Orlov can't move it along. On the far side, the Sabres re-enter. Norris in the slot for Dahlin, tried to play it this way for Dome, but it got taken away by the Sharks, and Will Smith at the end of a shift will snap one in from the red line. Goes behind the Sabre goal down to our right, where Owen Power collects, sends it across for Dahlin. Dahlin back into the slot, or into neutral ice for Tuck. Tuck with a goal tonight in his 600th career NHL game, snaps it in and heads off the ice for a change. As now the Sharks will do the same as they wait in their own zone. Shakir Moukmadulin up the near wing for Misa to tip it into Buffalo ice. Kesselring will get on it first in the near corner down to our right. Played it off the near boards to center, but it's poked away from Malenstein. Misa will go cross ice, and here comes the Sharks Eklund over the Sabre line. Far side, a shot goes through the blue paint, back up the near wall out to center, and now a foot race is on. Moukmadulin will get there first. Krebs in hot pursuit, but Moukmadulin plays it back to center ice, and the Sabres end up with possession as it's going to be sent back in by the fourth line. Carrick will put it down low. Behind his Askarov to play it. It bounced off a man to the far wing, and it's taken by the Sabres. Krebs, a shot blocked to the near side, and nobody knows where it is. It looks like it's out of play. And with 12:03 to go in the second period, that'll send us to a timeout. As Beck Malenstein, what a heck of a goal for the Sabres. You'll see that one on the highlight reels tonight. Has them up 3-1 over the Sharks. back here in Buffalo, where Beck Malenstein with a highlight reel goal has given the Sabres a 3-1 lead over the San Jose Sharks. As the Sabres broadcast here, which I'm streaming off of to bring you this play-by-play, is showing me a terrific run of goals Beck Malenstein scored just like this, as he had one against Carolina, one against Montreal, and now one here against the Sharks, as he's had quite a few, I guess, just like that. And the fourth liner gets his second goal in as many games against the Shark goaltender Askarov. So we're back underway with under 12 minutes to go in the second period. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page, as a puck at the logo will be grabbed by Benson as he touched it on the near wall for Samuelson softly, and he let a rocket go, and that was deflected off Askarov out of play. And with 11:38 to go in the second period, the faceoff should stay inside the San Jose D zone and go to the right of their netminder Askarov. So a report down on the farm here for San Jose is for Quentin Musty, was selected as the Sharks prospect of the week. He scored 4 goals over 3 games, helping the Barracuda share 3 victories in that span. Musty's tied with Igor Chernishev, who had time in the NHL with the Sharks this year, for the team's rookie lead with 13 goals. And you got to give a bunch of credit to general manager Mike Greer, as he's put together a great pool of young and not veteran players, as it looks like no icing here is going to be called on the Sharks, as Kiefer Sherwood was ruled to win that foot race. So I'll continue on here in a second, as Quinn's roaring back in with a shot in this Shark end that ended up missing the net. Now behind the net, he has the puck. Quinn working out of the far boards, played it back down low. Now working from low to high is McLeod. Got it to Power, back this way. Quinn, a shot, it's loose in the slot. Now Zucker scores! The Sabres are just snapping it around, and that one was pretty to make it 4-1. So Jason Zucker now has registered a point in 5 straight games. That's his 4th goal in his last 3 contests, I should say, as he has registered now 5 points in his last 3 games. As this play, Power from the far point was able to snap it on the near side, and it was sent across on top of the blue paint on the shot by Quinn, and Zucker was there to pick up the loose change, and the Sabres, with a beautiful one, make it 4-1. Now they're right back on the counter, or on the attack, after they win a face-off. It's dumped back into Shark ice, but ultimately nothing doing, as it's thrown back out the center for the reset. As now Tuck will launch it back into San Jose ice, is on the near side. It'll be Doan trying to play it behind the goal. It rides the stanchion now to Tuck, as out of the far corner he rides. Played it to the net, save Askarov, rebound behind. Doan can't get there. It's now Celebrini. Just says, screw that, I'm backhanding it down the ice. Will it go far enough for icing? It will, just by a hair. And a whistle with 10:29 now to go in the second period. So the Sabres just looking like an absolute wagon. The fans are saying they're on a warpath, and I think a warpath is exactly what this is. As I saw a tweet comparing them to the 2019 St. Louis Blues in terms of they fired their GM in December. The Blues kind of changed their coach in December, and then by the time January came, it was just scorched earth. They were running over everybody, and this Sabres team is kind of on that same trajectory, and we'll see what happens, though, when they make the playoffs, as unlike the Blues, this team does not have any past playoff history. That St. Louis team did, as they had been on a good run of making the playoffs in consecutive seasons. They had a run to the West Final in 2016, so I think there is a little bit of difference between those two teams. But a face-off here to the right of Askarov. Ostlund trying to win it. It bounced to the slot. On goal it goes, and now it's punched behind by Askarov. And Ostlund's going to collect out of the trapezoid, protecting on his backhand to the near left corner. Looking for somewhere to go. Left it at the half boards. Thompson trying to get in there. He digs it and wins it. And now he played it back to the near circle for Ostlund to kick to his stick. Defending him, Celebrini. Pass goes across. It's off the far boards, but right to Power. Power walking the line. Left it for Ostlund. Going down low. He'll trade spots with Benson, but he fanned on the pass. And now the Sharks are able to get up ahead. Now they can't get out as they turn it over. Terrible exit by Orlov. Back ends Thompson on the near side. Button hooking at the circle. At the near circle, now it's Dahlin. He fell over, went head first into the boards as he looks to be okay, but that was a scary fall. Now the puck finds him in the near corner. He'll trade spots with Thompson. Thompson tried to get past a pair of Sharks, cannot, as Orloff and Klingberg are all over him, but Oslin digs it away from them and played it behind the goal for Benson. In the trapezoid, Zach Benson looking, centered it through the slot, power, a whack, blocked off the skate of Colin Graff, and now Will Smith cherry picking on the far wing, wanted a pass, won't get it, and Owen Power will reset for Buffalo as each team makes changes with 9:16 to go in the second period. Sabres back in through center, near wing, it's Krebs, a shot, goes wide to the near side, back behind it, rides up the far wall, another takeaway, Krebs, button hooking here on Misa as he spins free, tried to leave it on the far wall for Kesselring, but Eklund took that away from him, and now the Sharks are out through center to Foley on the near wing, wanted to shoot for a rebound as I could tell, but he fumbled his shot as it bounced off his stick, and now it rode around the goal to the far point. Here's a shot on net, deflected. Toffoli can't bury it as he shot it wide behind. Out of the far corner, Misa, as Toffoli's like out of gas or perhaps hurt as he took a hit on the near corner boards, as he now goes and he's going right to the locker room. I caught that on the camera angle. So Tyler Toffoli go into the dressing room for the San Jose Sharks after taking a hit on the near boards. Both teams changing with 8.5 to go in the second period. Puck down to our left in the near corner, where it'll be Sam Dickinson looking to move it on the near wall. He connected with the Sharks. Ostapchuk, he rung it around the Sabre goal line to the far wall. Gaudette can't get there. Stanley played it away from him. Now McLeod for the Sabres up for ahead for Zucker. Zucker a bank pass for Quinn. Offsides if he touches it. No, onside says the linesman. If they score, I might suspect a challenge. As now at the blue line far side is Samuelson. Up high Quinn, a shot blocked in front by Askarov with the stick. Now to the far wall on the rebound. Ostapchuk moved it ahead for Kurashev, who you haven't seen a lot of in this second period. Got it into Sabre ice. Sharks change again. Sabres trying to catch him in it. Near wall McLeod with speed over the Shark line. Dropped it for Byram. Down low McLeod. Around the trapezoid he goes. Out of the far wall. Looking to go from low to high. He backhands it from the blue line back to the far corner. But right there is Wemberg for San Jose to take it and play it back. As the Sharks now look to break out. Up the near wing, Sherwood will snap it on in. The ex-Canuck got it around to the far corner. And on that far wing, here is Celebrini trying to poke it free. It came back to the point for Dickinson. Slid it this way, Desharnais. Desharnais, a shot deflected. Save Lyon, popped between the circles. And Tuck will collect. Tuck now backhanded it into San Jose ice. And it'll be poked away to the far side by Desharnais. But it came right to Norris roaring on him. Dropped it far circle for Tuck. Played it around the goal. Intended for Norris. Came free though to Sherwood. And now Sherwood will leave it for Desharnais, who goes across to Dickinson, and back out the center come the Sharks, who have only 2 shots on goal in this period that's now 13 minutes old, and Sherwood can't get into Buffalo ice, as now Oslin with the puck almost made a bad pass, but Tuck was able to touch it right back to him nicely, and out the center it goes. Oslin on the far wing, gets into the Shark zone, spinorama, backhander, save Askarov, back behind in the trapezoid to our left, it's free to the corner. Benson tried to center it, it's picked off by Misa, and out the center's Dickinson, played it on the far wing, and now it's going to be icing as the Sharks do not touch it, and no, a foot race is going to be won by the Sharks, as in behind it was Graff who won that foot race and nullified the icing. The Sabres now Thompson from behind his own net goes this way to Stanley, and Stanley up for Thompson, makes a move, got a hip checked, and down to the ice he goes, and now the Sabres are going to respond. That was a clean hit. Benson's out of order here in my opinion, as it is the star player for the Sabres, but that wasn't as detrimental as people probably would think it might be, as now this is just a whole kerfuffle of nonsense. The Sabres bench is loving it though. They're tapping their sticks, all smiling, as they're coming to the aid of their superstar gold medalist Tage Thompson, as Zach Benson, the little fella, getting feisty as he came after Dmitry Orlov, and Zach Benson here standing in at just 5'10", 177, going after Orlov, who's 5'11", 215, not that much bigger. But after delivering that hip check on Thompson, a response was issued. And with that stoppage, it will send us to a timeout. So 6:15 to go, second period of play. When we return, I'll let you know if any penalties were issued out through all that. Welcome back into Buffalo, where the Buffalo Sabres are up 4-1 over the San Jose Sharks. My name's Jaric Rubel. Glad you're with me here, as there were some penalties that were handed out to the Buffalo, as Thompson and Benson get instigator penalties. Orlov gets a penalty as well, but this should put the San Jose Sharks to the power play. So in the middle part of this hockey game, they get an opportunity to try to get within two, as Tage Thompson gets the extra penalty, and the Sharks go to their first man advantage tonight. They win the draw to the right of Alex Lyon, and puck played to the near corner, but Samuelson will snap it right out. So the Sabres PK 5th in the NHL, the Sharks power play 17th in all of hockey, as they get started here through neutral ice. Toffoli back on the ice after taking that hit and going to the locker room. Played it into the zone for Celebrini. Back up top it goes. Now in the slot, Toffoli. To the near wall here is Smith. Back up top it goes to Klingberg. He trades spots with Celebrini, but keeps the puck as he skates to the far point. To the net it goes, tipped by Toffoli, out of play, as that didn't even come close to the target. So 1:26 to go on this Shark power play. And if you're new to the channel, all power plays are powered by YouTube. And if you want to subscribe, I ask you kindly that you hit that nice subscription button, as this is a new channel. We've had two previous ones, but they were executed, so we're kind of trying to rebuild from scratch. So any likes and subscription helps kindly, as Matt, Seth, JT, and I all look to promote good sports broadcasting here in, a nice legal manner. As a face-off here to the right of Alex Lyon will be prolonged, as it looks like Wenberg's going to get tossed out. So Celebrini steps in against Carrick, and Carrick's able to win it to the far corner down to our right. Tie up, though, as now the puck gets free to Smith. He whacks it up to the far point, and here's Klingberg. This way to Wenberg. Alex Wenberg now along the near boards, back up high to Klingberg. Trade spots with Celebrini, leaves the puck for him at the near point. Down low, Wenberg, stuff attempt, save made. Now Smith back to Celebrini, near circle. Looks over the traffic from the top of the circle. Down low in the slot to Foley, he hit the crossbars. He had a wide open net set up by Wenberg, but couldn't bury it. Now the Sabres are able to get it and twist it down the ice with under a minute to go on this Shark power play, as the Sharks getting outshot 20-8 in this game. The Sabres' size, speed, and skill just getting to them, as they had a decent first period, but the Sabres here just took over in this middle period, as the Sharks trying to get some momentum back. They get set back up in the Sabres zone with 34 to go on the power play. Klingberg up high straight away. To the near circle, up top is Celebrini. To the net, the shot, Toffoli tip, save Lyon, as he will cover with 27 seconds remaining on this power play. So 4:31 to go in period number 2, as the Sharks, with good puck movement on this power play, they've given Lyon a couple of tests, but he's been squared and centered on each of these shots, and has been able to make pretty easy saves, relatively speaking, as the faceoff here should be coming up to his left, and it's going to be won by the Sharks again. Here's Misa, part of the second unit, as he twists it back to Eklund along the near boards. Eklund at the near right circle, back up high to Dickinson. This way it goes again for William Eklund. 12 to go on the power play. Behind the goal at the puck is Misa. Michael Misa trying to play it up high. It's taken away by Tuck, and the Sabres take it through center. Here comes McLeod with 5 shorthanded goals on the year. Ahead for a shot that was put off the blocker of Askarov, as Tuck tried to get a shorty as time was expiring on the power play. Back to equal strength we go, and the Sharks go right back into Sabre ice. Behind the net, it's Misa. Got poke checked by Kesselring, as now he's squeezed in behind. And now the puck free to the far corner. Tied up is Norris with Kurashev. No penalty, though, as referee Garrett Rank was on top of the play, as the puck came around the goal to our right. And Dahlin flips it over the line for Norris to knock it at the Shark blue line, but couldn't corral possession, as now taking back over is Dickinson for San Jose. Snapped it up the far wall for Gaudette over the Sabre line. This way, Kurashev in front of tip, and a save made by Lyon, as that was a pretty play by the Shark fourth line. But the tip that went on net by Ostapchuk did not fully get through the wickets of Alex Lyon. 3:24 to go, second period of play. Sabres up 4-1 on the Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong page over the Sharks. Jaric Rubel back with you here live on YouTube. Sabres up 4-1 over the San Jose Sharks as Buffalo ranks first in the Atlantic Division with 84 points following that win over Tampa on Sunday. And they've earned 6 division titles in franchise history. The last time they won it was in 2009-2010, back when it was called the Northeast Division. Once the Atlantic Division was formed in 2013-14, they had not led past November in the Atlantic Division until this season. Since they've gotten into first place, now they're on pace for an 108-point campaign, which would be the most points in a single season by Buffalo since 2006-2007, and 108 points would be the 5th highest single season total in franchise history. So face off to the right of the goaltender for Buffalo Lion. McLeod's able to win it, but he played it back behind his own net kind of dangerously. And Zucker able to flip it out in an area play that McLeod will get over the Shark line, but he bobbled it and turned it over. And Gaudette's back up on the far wing over the Sabre line, driving on Zucker on his backhand. Tried to shoot it on a tough angle, but it came around the goal to the near side. And now a battle for it along the near boards, trying to dig it out to McLeod. He wins that battle, played it behind the goal to the right for Kesselring. And the ex-Arizona Coyote / Utah Mammoth plays it into San Jose ice on a deflection. So under 3 minutes now to go in the second period as Mook Medulin for the Sharks goes to Celebrini on a swing play as he goes up the far left wing, touched it at the Sabre blue line for the Sharks Graf to play it into the near corner. And now back out to center it goes as it rode the dasher into San Jose ice. This looks like an icing, and it's going to be whistled dead, as I didn't think the Sabres touched that, but apparently they did. And a faceoff coming back up in the O-zone for San Jose with 2:32 remaining. So in the future schedule here on the Ultimate Sports Media page, the next time you'll hear some hockey will be on Sunday, as it'll be from Montreal, as the Canadiens will host the Anaheim Ducks in what should be a really fun game from the Bell Center, as they played a fun one out on the pond in Anaheim last Friday, and now they'll meet in the Bell Center on Sunday later this weekend. So looking forward to that. As with under 2:20 to go in the second period here from Buffalo, the Sabres here having trouble in their own end. Thompson, though, able to flick it out to center, but the Sharks are going to come right back the other way with it. Dickinson, far circle, Celebrini, tried to center for Smith. It came in the slot. Graf a shot, and it just hit the left padded tuck. He looked behind him, or off Lyon, I should say, I'm sorry, and it just hit the Sabre netminder, and he looked behind him, not knowing that it was right in front of him. And he was able to put his glove on it for the whistle. So 2:04 remaining. Faceoff coming up to Alex Lyon's left, as Alex Lyon in goal for the Buffalo Sabres has been excellent as of late, as since January 29th, when he recorded his 10th straight win that eclipsed Jerry Desjardins' 9-game win streak for the Sabres back in 1976. He's now the only NHL goaltender with 10 or more games played and 2 or fewer losses in regulation and or overtime since December 1st. So when he's in goal for the Sabres, a regulation loss is very rare since the warpath started when Kevin Adams, unfortunately, you got to feel bad for him, was fired in Buffalo. Puck here at the right point for the Sharks as they try and get one back against the Sabres, but they can't get anything through as Toffoli has trouble with it on the near side. Got it to the point. Klingberg on the right side, slides it across. Now Orlov in the final 90 of the period. Back for Klingberg between the circles. His shot got blocked by Eklund. Rebound off a body to the far circle. Celebrini turned it over to Samuelson, as now the Sabres will get out 4-on-3 the other way. On the near wall, over the Shark line's Krebs. Dropped it Malenstein. His shot rode high and got the glass. Now here's Celebrini. Far wall, turned it over to Norris. Norris here, puck at his feet, trying to get free. Tied up with Orlov, gets possession back. Played it up high, straightaways tuck to the near circle, passes behind Power. And now here is Klingberg to play it away. And Celebrini, a nice little touch pass on the near wing, sends Kiefer Sherwood out in the final minute of period number 2. On the far wing in Sabre ice for the Sharks is Eklund. Eklund being watched by Tuck, played it down low to Wenberg. Alex Wenberg shaking free of Dahlin, cutting behind the Sabre net. Looking for an option in the final half minute. Goes up high Ferraro, across the shot, score! Kiefer Sherwood with a wrister from the far circle, and the Sharks do get one back. It's 4-2. So Kiefer Sherwood just kind of stayed put at the far faceoff circle while Alex Wenberg went to work. As he just stayed planted, Wenberg skated around the Sabre net. And up from between the circles, Mario Ferraro set up Kiefer Sherwood, who let that wrister go far side over the glove of Alex Lyon. And Kiefer Sherwood gets goal number 20 on the year. Brought over from the Canucks by general manager Mike Greer, one of the terrific trades he's made here in San Jose. He's made a ton of them. And Chief Kiefer Sherwood, able to come up with some big goals here in the last couple of games for the San Jose Sharks. So under 20 seconds to go now in the second period as the puck rolls back into Sabre ice. And now trying to get out is Byram. He played it up, and now a potential chance for McLeod in the final 5 seconds. He's over the Shark line with a shot, and it went off the side of the net as Askarov wasn't sure where it went. But the whistle goes, and the period is over with the Sabres leading 4-2. Through 40 minutes of play. When leading through 40 minutes of play this year, the Sabres are 29-2-0. Meanwhile, the Sharks are 5-19-2 when trailing after 40 minutes of play this year. This was an eventful second period, much like the first. 2 goals for the Sabres, 1 for the Sharks, as Beck Malenstein went showtime and got his 6th of the year, set up by Krebs and Dahlin. Then Jason Zucker got his 20th of the season from Quinn and Owen Power. That was a pretty passing play between those guys. And then just moments ago for the San Jose Sharks, it was Kiefer Sherwood getting his 20th of the year to make it a 4-2 game as we head to the intermission. So don't go anywhere. The third period is imminent. The thunderstorms will be rolling in behind me. So let's pray that the stream stays in one piece and nothing happens and we get to enjoy this finish in Buffalo between the Sabres and the Sharks in 15 minutes time. Don't go anywhere. The third period on the horizon. You're listening to Sabres and Sharks live on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page with Jaric Rubel. Welcome back in, everyone, to the broadcast where the Sharks are down 4-2 here on the road to the Buffalo Sabres. My name is Jaric Rubel. Glad you're with me here on the Ultimate Sports Media Watch-Along page as we get set to begin the third period. Again, as you'll probably see throughout this third period behind me, you might get a lightning show. There's storms coming in. They're severe warned. You can take a look here. I'm not messing with you. It's not going to focus probably, but there's a lot of weather coming through. So if the stream does crash again, just keep in mind that is why. So through two periods of play, the San Jose Sharks are struggling to try and keep up with the Buffalo Sabres, but they're still in it as they were getting outshot heavily in the start of that second period. They only had 2 shots through the first 11 minutes, but they ended up finishing with 8 total in the period as they were able to put up 6 more against the Sabres, and they got one past goaltender Alex Lyon. It was Kiefer Sherwood's 20th of the year from Mario Ferraro and Alex Wenberg, but the Sabres got 2 in that frame. Beck Malenstein, a highlight reel goal as he danced around Sam Dickinson and shot it past the right-handed catching glove of Askarov from Krebs and Dahlin, and then Jason Zucker from Jack Quinn and Owen Power. Zucker and Quinn connecting 4 goals assisted by each, scored by each in this game, as they each have 2 points in this contest. Dahlin with 2 assists as well, as those are the numbers through 40 minutes of play. It's a big third period here for both of these teams. The Sabres try to make it 8 in a row and continue on with their Atlantic Division lead, and it is important to note that Tampa Bay has 3 games in hand on the Buffalo Sabres, so the points, just because they have the lead, I mean, there's still 3 less games Tampa has played, so in the grand scheme of things, points percentage-wise, Tampa's still just at the top. And then the Sharks, a win tonight. If they could find a way to get 2 points, they'll be at a playoff spot for the time being. And then we'll see what happens between the Kraken and the Predators. If the Kraken were to get a point, and definitely 2 if that happens, they would draw back into that final wild card spot in the Western Conference. But Macklin Celebrini with a goal in this game got his 90th point in the first period. He becomes the 3rd quickest teenager to get to 90 points in a season, as Sidney Crosby took 54 games in 2006-2007, and Wayno, the great one, Wayne Gretzky, 56 in 1979-1980. So we're set to begin the third period of play here. The Sharks coaching staff really giving a bunch of taps on the back of their players. Seems like the Sharks are locked in here to really make an effort to get back in this game, because they were once down 4-1, have made it 4-2 in the final 30 seconds of the second. And now we're set here to begin period at number 3. Again, my name's Jaric Rubel. Glad you're hanging out with me. As off the draw at center, the Sabres win it back courtesy Ryan McLeod. They're attacking left to right in this third period. The Sharks are going right to left. And 6 seconds in, we have an offsides whistle here, so a face-off will come right back out to neutral ice. Get a reminder, next time you'll hear from me, Sunday from Montreal, it'll be the Canadiens hosting the Ducks out in the Bell Center. But the next time we're live on this YouTube page will be coming up here soon. It'll be some college basketball, the MAC Championship. Siena versus Merrimack will get underway at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Should just be starting right about now with Seth Eves on the call. Face-off coming up here to the right, though, of Alex Lyon and the Sabres, and they're able to win the draw courtesy McLeod again. Dahlin flipped it up the far wall. It gets out to center, and the Sabres will get the puck and recoil as Samuelson will go up the near right wing. Into the Shark zone it goes. Klingberg will take a look, plays it up the head off the stick of Celebrini as it deflects now into Sabre territory. Matthias Samuelson will take a look, goes off the near right wing boards, and now Ryan McLeod over the Shark line. Left it for Dahlin, skating into the right wing circle, looking for somewhere to go between the circles to the near side. McLeod back in the slot, a one-timer, score! Jack Quinn, what a ripper, set up by Ryan McLeod, and the Sabres go back up 3. It's 5-2 here on home ice. So great work by Rasmus Dahlin along the near right wing boards to cut to the slot and draw all the Sharks to the middle of the ice. And that opened up Jack Quinn in the deep slot with only Will Smith trailing him, as Ryan McLeod was able to set him up, and he rifled a one-timer up over the right-handed catching glove of Askarov. And the Sabres here start the third period with a goal 44 seconds in. And now right off the ensuing draw, Thompson on the far left wing shooting, and a save made by Askarov as he'll glove that one and take a whistle with 9:12 to go following Jack Quinn's goal, his second of the game, and now up to 14 on the season as he's now got 3 points on the night as he and the Sabres are now 19 minutes away from making it 8 wins in a row. And against these San Jose Sharks, they've won 7 of their last 10 games, as the last time they met, the Sharks did get the best of them. But Buffalo, good luck here in their history against the San Jose Sharks. So face-off coming up again here, still to the right of goaltender Yaroslav Askarov as he watches on. As Buffalo here, winning the draw to his right. Power will control. He'll play it behind the trapezoid. And now in behind, Oslin grabs it. Tried the center. Kurashev blocked it. It came back to him. Now up to the far point. Power will ring it back down low. Behind the Shark goal, Benson played in behind. Trying to get it out of the far corner. Backhanded it up this way. Now here's Byram, and he can't keep it in as the pass was out of the zone. And now the Sharks at center will try and fly in through the Sabre blue line. Kurashev's pass, though, went behind and back out the center. Thompson will grab it, far left wing into the Shark zone, driving on his backhand. Behind the goal, he goes to the near circle. Send it across the power this way. Oh, and Oslin had an open net and shot it off the side of it, as Oslin will be seeing ghosts after that one, but could not find all the twine that he could see. So we'll see here on the replay, this try by Oslin. And oh, it was a block by Mario Ferraro in front. It did not go off the side of the net, as when that one-timer went, it was down off the stick of Mario Ferraro. And the good block there by the San Jose defenseman keeps it a 5-2 game. Sharks win the ensuing draw to the left of Askarov. Puck flipped over into Buffalo ice. Stanley will send it right back to the logo, however. And now in front of the penalty boxes, Norris can't grab it. The Sharks will. Over the lines, Misa. He got hooked by Stanley. Down on one knee. No penalty coming up, but stays with it. Played it behind the goal for Eklund. Eklund trying to get it to the far point. Will. Desharnais slides it this way for Dickinson. In the slot to Foley. His shot blocked. Power now in behind. Misa out of the far corner with it for the Sharks. Centered for Toffoli. Tuck lifted his stick, and now the Sabres are off the other way. Here's Stanley with it over the logo. The big defenseman leading the way. Far circle. Here's Norris in front. Doan couldn't stash it home as Askarov able to move to his left and get that stop. Meanwhile, puck floating back out the center. Eklund at the end of a shift will send it on in while taking a hit, as now Kesselring will scoop it up down to our left behind the Sabre net. Glides up now towards the penalty boxes. At the red line, will snap it into San Jose ice. Behind the goal in the near corners, Orlov twisting it up the left wing. Barclay Goodrow trying to move it along. Got it into Buffalo ice. Dahlin plays it off a kick to the stick, and now goes to his partner on the far wing as Krebs will skate through center. Peyton Krebs over the Shark line, far wing, being worked on here by Goodrow. Got it to the near corner, and it's misplayed by Malenstein as it'll roll out to neutral ice as nobody was at the right point. And now Dahlin will play it back into the Shark zone, far wing and area play. Malenstein beats Orloff around to it. Took a big hit in behind from Goodrow as they both fall down. Meanwhile, along the near boards, Gaudette takes a puck away from Krebs. Played it on the far wing. Goodrow backhands it into Sabre ice as he heads to change. As the Sabres will do the same, Dahlin will play it back, and Samuelson will take over. Up the near wing, plays it for McLeod on the right side. Over the Shark line to the near corner, down to our right. McLeod gets that loose puck on the chip in. Played it to the far point for Byram. Byram looking, lofted it far circle. Pass was intercepted and sent back out to center. And the Sharks' Graf was lurking for a breakaway but couldn't get it, as the defense was just fine on the back check by Buffalo. Meanwhile, they're back into the Shark zone. Zucker, far circle, centered. McLeod, a shot blocked as it goes out of play. And a whistle with 16:23 to go here in period number 3. As mentioned, Ryan McLeod's name. What a season this guy's having, as he's got 35 assists now on the campaign after he just got credited with the assist moments ago on the goal for Buffalo. So he's got 2 assists in this game here tonight. That bumps him up to 35 on the year, and he's got 47 points this season with the Sabres. Went to the Stanley Cup final a couple of seasons ago with the Edmonton Oilers. He had a couple of big moments in that series shorthanded, as he was terrific on the penalty kill for Chris Knobloch's crew. Now here with Lindy Ruff in Buffalo as they try a one-timer off a face-off that was fanned on, and Sherwood able to scoop it and take it the other way, but he hit a rut in the ice and everybody kind of got disorganized. So the play breaks up and the Sabres take back over in their own defensive zone. Byram on the logo for power. Gets over the Shark line, trying to twist around, but Ferraro takes it away, and it's back out to center ice, and Thompson will collect at his own blue line for Buffalo. Played it in front of the penalty boxes, and trying to grab it was Ostlund. He couldn't. The Sharks will recollect. Back in neutral ice. Up is Dickinson, but a whistle here. And I believe that puck hit a player on the benches, so a whistle with 15:46 to go here in the third period. So since making their NHL debuts, the Sharks are 25-17-4 when both Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini find the score sheet in the same contest. 7-2-1 when both score a goal, and are 9-2-2 when both register multi-point efforts. They each have 1 point here tonight, so we'll see if they can connect for another one together. And maybe we could start having the question that the trend can make things interesting. Face off in front of the Shark bench, going to be won by San Jose, as it'll be played up on the near wing by Dickinson. Around the goal it goes to the far point. A shot towards the net by Desharnais went through the slot to the near wall, and out the center it'll go, and Doan has it on the near right wing. He gets over the Shark line, trying to drive to the goal, didn't get through, as Desharnais defensively tripped it away. Now Dickinson up on the far wall for Smith, back to Dickinson, played it this way over the Sabre line for Celebrini. Celebrini tried to go back to Dickinson, but Tuck intercepted that. Now Tuck's able to get it out through center, and the Sharks get back once again. So Vincent Desharnais, another ex-Edmonton Oiler, played in the Stanley Cup final 2 years ago with Ryan McLeod. Now they're on opposite ends here tonight. McLeod in Buffalo, Desharnais in San Jose, as Misa up the near left wing over the Sabre line tries a shot that'll go into the catching glove of Alex Lyon, and he holds for a whistle. 14:56 now remaining in period number 3. So I mentioned Kiefer Sherwood scoring that goal for the San Jose Sharks. They acquired him back on January 19th from Vancouver in exchange for a pair of second-round picks, and defenseman Cole Clayton scored his first points as a Shark March 3rd with the goal and the game winner, as he inked a 5-year deal as well here in San Jose. So congratulations to Kiefer Sherwood and family on the contract extension, as now his Sharks go to work in the Sabre zone off an O-zone win. At the left point, it's Orloff. Behind the goal, Toffoli. Around for Eklund out of the far corner. Kesselring hounding him, but he got it to the far point for Klingberg. Klingberg walking the line, tried a shot. Down in the blue paint it goes, cleared to the far wall. Krebs will collect for Buffalo. Up the far left wing, he skates. At the red line, snaps it into San Jose ice. The fans starting the wave here in Key Bank Center, as now a turnover by the Sharks has Carrick with it for the Sabres in the O-zone, as the fourth line will go to work. Bad turnover by Klingberg. On the far wall, Krebs to the point for Byram, slid it this way for Power. He trades spots with Byram. Misconnection working here, and now Malenstein a shot save in the paint. It goes free to the circle and cleaned up by Gaudreau. To the far wall out the center, Klingberg will play it at the logo. It's off the skate of Gaudette into Buffalo ice. Behind the goal it'll go. Krebs played it back up the far wall. It rolls all the way down the ice. This will not be icing, says the linesman. So we play on with under 14 minutes to go in period 3. The wave still going here in Buffalo, as it's around the near side to the right now, working its way back around on the hard cam side straight ahead. Meanwhile, in the Sabres defensive zone, Byram gets out straight ahead over the logo. Played it on the far wing in the Shark zone. Quinn tied up with Mook Madulin, dropped in the slot. McLeod a shot save. Askarov rebound cleared up but not out. Kept by Kesselring. Kesselring twisting here near the far point. Backhanded it down low. Mook Madulin picks that off. Wave still going on here in Buffalo. The fans are loving it here in Key Bank Center. Sharks having a change, dumping it back into Buffalo ice, as behind the goal now a stoppage in play, as I think Sherwood's going to get tagged for an interference penalty here. Is it going to be Zucker, as those two guys are having words exchanged, and looks like Zucker's going to go to the box. He wants an embellishment call here on Sherwood. He's not going to get it. So Zucker's going to sit for the Sabres. And when we come back, the Sharks have a power play. Let's see if Celebrini and Smith can get a multi-point game. If they do that, I'll be inclined to think they'll make it interesting. Stick around. We'll find out. back here in Buffalo, where the Sharks are to the power play, down 3 goals here. With 13 minutes remaining in period number 3, Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page for this NHL Watchalong. Glad you're with me. It's 5-2 Buffalo, as it's a 3-point night for 3 Sabre skaters. Jack Quinn has 3, 2 goals and an assist, 3 assists for Rasmus Dahlin, and then it is Ryan McLeod with 3 apples as well, as the Sabres are rolling here. So power play coming up for the Sharks. Zucker for interference to the box. And off the face-off, the Sabres win it, but turn it over in front of backhand. They score! Alex Wennberg, 5 seconds into the power play. And the Sabres, another turnover. This time it ends up in the back of their net. That's the second time here tonight. So right off the power play to the near corner, it went for Power, and he just lost it immediately to Tyler Toffoli, and it was touched in front for Wennberg, and his backhander caught Lyon off guard as he was moving to his left. The shot came to his right, and it stayed on the ice the whole time, and Wennberg has his 13th goal of the season. So back to a 2-goal game now, as the Sharks with that power play goal get back in it, as now off the ensuing face-off here, looks like Gaudette's going to get tossed out, so Ostapchuk in, and off the tie-up, the Sharks control. But I mentioned the Sabres turnovers. A lot of times in this game, we've seen turnovers from Power, we've seen turnovers from Kesselring, we've seen turnovers from Stanley. And once already in this game, Macklin Celebrini's goal was a result of that turnover. And then now just recently, the Wennberg power play goal, a result of a really bad turnover as well. Just tough puck luck in their own zone. They're just not good with the puck on their stick in the defensive zone quite yet. That's definitely something I've gathered here from watching this Sabres team that might be on a warpath, scoring a lot of goals, but in terms of for when the playoffs get here, I'm not liking their zone exits here in their D zone. So 5-3 Buffalo now, as a couple of these teams make change. Well, only a couple. Both these teams make changes. So I'm caught up here thinking about the Sabres playoffs right now, as I just can't help but think the Lightning might school them if they get everyone healthy, because they're going to trap them in their defensive zone, and it could just be a rough time for Buffalo, but that's a conversation for a future day, as I want to be able to be excited about this Sabres team, as the Sharks here turn it over in their own zone, but unable to do anything with it was Norris for Buffalo. So San Jose is able to get it back out through center with under 12 minutes to go in period 3. Now back behind the San Jose net. A play by Ferraro sends Graf up ahead. Here he comes with Misa. Misa up the near wing, has speed into the Sabre zone, puts on the brakes at the half boards. Played it around the trapezoid to the far corner. It rides up the boards. At the point, here's Toffoli covering. Played it back to Orlov, the defenseman, down around the goal. Played it around to the near corner, trying to get there's Misa, but Power's there first. Left it in the trapezoid. As now McLeod will drop it, and Samuelson will exit, and it's flipped over the logo. It'll be icing, as no Sabre was in the area. And a whistle here with 11:13 remaining in period number 3. So again, everybody, if you're new to the stream, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button, as we had a couple of channels get exterminated. Matt, myself, Seth, JT, Matt White, everybody. We were doing well with the previous USM page, but unfortunately had to start from scratch. So any subscription and a like will be appreciated. You see that lightning behind me? Storms are rolling in. Be interesting if you guys could hear the thunder if it happens, but we're back underway in Buffalo, as it's an 8-hour drive from me from Chicago to get there if I wanted to call this in person, as from behind the Sabre net on the near wing, Ryan McLeod turned it over, and that stayed in the zone, said the linesman. A pass across for Eklund was behind him. Now Eklund looking, played it across on top of the paint. Misa couldn't get it as it was deflected away by Samuelson. Now the Sabres can't get it out, and now with a little bit of help will, as Eklund tried to baseball swing to keep that puck in, but misplayed it. But the Sabres, again, struggling to get out of their own zone. That was a couple of scares that they had, and the Sharks twisting back in again. They've had the better of the play here in this third period for the last 5 minutes or so. In the near corner, down to our left, in the Sabres defensive zone, 6-body scrum for a puck in the corner. 3 Sabres, 3 Sharks. It squirts free to the far side as it rolls on edge off the boards. Jack Quinn will collect. He tried to play it up ahead, and it went off a Sherwood stick, but does come to Doan. And now Doan will flip it on the near side at the Shark line. Stanley's there to glove it down as the large defenseman goes to the near corner and loses possession of the puck as 3 Sharks converge on him. And now on the far wall, here is Wennberg. Wennberg, one arms one over the Sabre line, backhanded it beneath the goal line. Dickinson, the defenseman, down low. Got it, Wennberg, far corner. Up it goes Desharnais, a long flip shot to the net. Blocked, came to Dickinson between the circles. He shot it to the net, went in behind awkwardly. Now Kurashev going after that loose puck, flicked it to the far wall. Getting there's Kiefer Sherwood, bunted it back to Kurashev, looking for a lane, spins free in the far quarter, skating through the trapezoid on his backhand. Now played it up to the left point for Dickinson, slides it across far point Desharnais. Sharks trying to change on the fly, delayed penalty coming up here on the Sabres as well, as here's Desharnais straight away. Across it goes, and a shot there by Smith, save Lyon, rebound far wall, the whistle will go. And when we come back, the Sharks are going to go back to the power play, as down 3 they were, got back within 1. And here's the new acquisition, Logan Stanley. I don't want to talk bad about players, but I feel like I have, leeway here on this platform to do such a thing. Sabres are going to regret trading for this guy, and he takes another penalty here. I think Stanley's a mess. I don't think he should be in the lineup. He makes your team worse. We'll see what happens on their PK when we come back, but the Sharks go into the power play trying to make it a 1-goal game. Sharks to the power play here after Logan Stanley took the stupidest penalty I've ever seen. Sherwood was coming through the blue paint. He just put his stick sky high in the air and clipped him right in the dome. So, puck don't lie. The Sharks might make this a 1-goal game. As a faceoff's coming up here to the right of Alex Lyon. My name's Jaric Rubel. Glad you're with me here on the Ultimate Sports Media Watch-Along page. As a face-off to the right of Lions, won by the Sharks. Celebrini across Wennberg, a shot, save Lyon, rebound popped into his catching glove. As again, immediately in the first 5 seconds of the power play for the Sharks, Lions tested, and he's able to come through with the save. So 1:56 to go on the power play for San Jose. That's converted once already tonight. It was Wennberg's 6th power play goal of the season, and overall on the campaign, his 13th goal. As off the draw to the left, a Lyon, a tie-up's now in the far corner. Trying to dig it out to Foley for the Sharks. Samuelson protecting for the Sabres. Now the puck rolls up the far boards. The Sharks will get it. Celebrini walking in near circle. Smith, a shot. Save. Lyon moving to his right as that puck hit him right on the Sabre logo on his chest. And he's able to corral it for a whistle. So 1:39 on the power play, 9:03 to go in regulation time. The Sharks pressing here to try and get within 1 and eventually get the equalizer. As if this game gets to overtime, it'll be a carnival, that's for sure. As the Sharks with 12 overtime wins on the season, and just getting to overtime is a big part of to where they are in the Western Conference standings right now. Face off to Lions right. Carrick for Buffalo, Wennberg for San Jose. Linesman waiting to drop the puck, and off it, the Sabres' Carrick able to pull it back, and Byram from behind his own goal won't get it out. Kept in by the Sharks, sent to the near side for Wenberg. Wenberg played it back to the point. Now it's out of the zone as Orlov couldn't grab that bouncing puck, as the Sharks are going to have to retreat into their own zone. Orlov behind his own net, being pressed by Malenstein. Didn't have to worry about that, though, as Celebrini's there to help out, and out they go. Smith far wall for Toffoli, got it ahead. Celebrini tipped it into the near corner. Byram looking for an option, goes behind the goal with it up the far wing, and out to center as Toffoli can't keep it. Down to the final 65 here of this Sharks power play. The Buffalo Sabres with only 3 shots in this period. The Sharks only with 4, but they've had 1 already get past goaltender Alex Lyon. As in the final minute of the power play, they get set back up on the near circle. Wenberg down to the near corner to our left. Will Smith up high. Wenberg slid it across Orlov. To the far circle, here's Macklin Celebrini, looking for point number 91 on the year. Has it at the far circle. Played it this way for Wenberg, who kicks to the stick. Back to the point, Orlov, a shot off the end boards it goes. Toffoli touched it near side for Smith. Back behind the goal, Toffoli. Final 30 of the power plays, it's worked up high left point for Wenberg. Now Orlov, far circle. Back up near the point he goes. Sent it back for Wenberg this way. Now at the near circle, here's Smith working it up high. Smith tried to go to the slot, but it came up high in a deflection to Orlov. Now Celebrini, far circle, down low Wenberg. Back to Celebrini, far point. Final 10 of the power play as Celebrini controls in the slot. Played it to the net, deflected off a tuck, came to McLeod, he'll clear. And the Sabres have killed off this Shark power play. So back to even strength we go here, under 8 minutes remaining here in period 3. Sabres hanging on to a 5-3 lead. Passed across from Misa for Sherwood as he was lurking behind the defense, didn't connect. Now the Sabres 4-on-2 the other way. Benson far wall over the Shark line. Return pass from Thompson. Through the paint was his pass and came up the near side. Eklund will take it. Gave it to Misa. Over the logo he goes. Now the Sabre blue for Mook Medulin playing it behind the Sabre net. Eklund got his stick lifted by Dahlin. The Sabres take it back the other way. Puck tipped to the far corner of the Shark zone. Sherwood and Benson go after it. Now Benson taking a hit from Sherwood, stays with it as he got it behind the goal for Ostlund. Ostlund let it free in the near side. Benson worked it up to the right point. Kesselring. Across it goes for Stanley, who's out of the penalty box. Behind the goal, it goes around to the near side. Up the boards, Benson tried to get it to the point, but it came out to center as Misa poked it and sent down by Eklund. And both teams will get a change here with under 6:30 remaining in the third period. Between the benches, a free puck here for Desharnais. He's tied up with Zucker, as now it'll be collected by Goodrow. He's tied up again by Zucker, who's doing a good job for the Sabres to just pin this puck here and kill as much clock as possible. Now it's free. Ostapchuk played it back for Dickinson, racing in left wing over the Sabre line. Wrapped it around the goal, came back on the far wing for Zucker to get right back out the center. Quinn will chip it to himself past Desharnais, far corner in the Shark zone. Backhanded it in front, came to McLeod off Dickinson. Now back behind, now it's Quinn, leaving it for Zucker. On the near corner, up for Dahlin it goes. His pass turned over, Gaudet'll send it out for San Jose, and now Dahlin races back for it with Ostapchuk, who wins that foot race. Now in the near corner, the Sharks trying to do something, but they're making a change as the Sabres are able to come up with the takeaway. And now Zucker will flip it back through center. Down to the final 5.5 now of period number 3. Sabres hanging on by 2 here, 5-3. Over the Sharks, who are back in over the Sabre line. Graff a shot straight on, and a save made there by Lyon, as he'll hold for our final timeout with 5:21 to go in the third. You're listening to NHL Hockey on the Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong page. Sabres up 5-3. Final 5 minutes here in a regulation. Sabres up 5-3 over the San Jose Sharks. Jaric Rubel here with you live on the Ultimate Sports Media Watch-Along page. Sabres trying to make it 8 in a row and continue the longest win streak currently in the NHL. That's active at the moment. Sharks trying to come back and try and get to a playoff spot and leapfrog the Seattle Kraken for the moment in the Western Conference. Face off here in the O-Zone for the Sharks is to the left of the goaltender Lyon, as it's now Norris against Celebrini for the draw. Norris wins it, and Dahlin flicks it out to center, and it bounces over the Shark line to Klingberg. He'll leave it for Orlov, who will turn it ahead up on the far wing. It's tipped by Smith into the Sabres zone. Krebs did a good job to knock him out of the play and get possession of that puck. Dahlin tried to clear. It went off the stanchion and kind of bounced awkwardly, and now it sits on the far circle near the boards. It's poked ahead by Klingberg. Sabres try and clear. They can at the moment, but now will after Graf's keep ended up going off the skates of Doan, as now from the red line, Doan sends it to the near quarter down to our right in San Jose ice. Around the goal it goes, far corner, Klingberg sends it out to the red line. It'll be flipped right back in by Samuelsson and the Sabres as they change, and the Sharks top line stays on the ice at the moment in the final 4.5. Here's Celebrini getting a pass tipped in, goes right on goal towards Lyon. And that'll be left in behind. Now Samuelsson for Buffalo once again up the near right wing. Connects with Thompson. Thompson, though, stripped of it behind by Dickinson. Good job there by the Shark defenseman. His pass up on the near wing for Sherwood got poked into the Sabres zone. And now Lyon out of his net to play it. Put it up the near boards. Misa pinch, well, not really pinching, but coming in hot to keep it alive. Played it around for Sherwood, far wall. Up for Desharnais, having trouble with it. Benson in his area, able to keep it. Misa, back to the far point, Desharnais. Left point, Dickinson. A shot deflected over the crossbar and got the glass. Now Desharnais again, far wing, had to go around the goal to the near side. Dickinson got upended by Thompson, but the puck kept by Sherwood. His shot deflected by Misa and went to the glove side and wide of Askarov. Now from the far corner, the Sabres say, screw this, I want an icing. They'll do just that. And they get a whistle with 3:43 to go here in period number 3. So face-off will remain in the Sabres defensive zone. They could not change after that icing whistle, as these guys have been out there for a little bit for Buffalo. Samuelsson and Power, the defenseman, and then Thompson, Benson, and Tuck at the moment, the forwards for the Sabres. So face-off coming up to the right here of Alex Lyon, as it's actually Ostlund out there, not Alex Tuck. 86, not 89 for the Sabres, as a tie-up to the right of the Sabre netminder goes on net, and off the right pad it's collected by Power as he shoots it out of play, and it goes into the Sabres bench, so no penalty, as a whistle will go with 3:35 to go. And now the Sharks are going to pull their netminder, as with all this offensive zone time, they're going to go for broke here, and down 2, try and tie this game up with 3:35 to go in the third period. So shots are 23-18 in favor of the Sabres. They win a draw to the left of their goaltender Lyon, but they can't clear. It went right into the gut of Wenberg. Out of the far corner, he plays it to Celebrini. He's in the far corner now, down to our left. Played it across. It deflected off a skate to the near wall, where it's grabbed by Will Smith. Will Smith backhanded it, but it went off it to Foley. Came to Quinn, played it ahead, and the Sabres get it on the far wing. Try to misdirect the Sharks out of neutral ice, but it's not working at the moment as they play it back in their own zone. The Sharks are going to forecheck on it, but the Sabres will get out. Quinn got it as far as the red line, gets it back, taking a shot at the empty net for the hat trick, but missed as it went around to the near side. The Celebrini trying to get it, turned it over, but it came right to Orlov, who now has trouble with it, and now Quinn in the near corner looking for McLeod, couldn't center it, and that's still empty. Quinn for the hat trick, he scores! Jack Quinn, hat trick, and the 4th point of the game with the empty net marker, and the Sabres are looking to extend that win streak to 8, and they're 2:46 away from doing just that. So tremendous night for Jack Quinn as he opened the scoring to make it 1-0. Then he scores a goal here in the third period to give the Sabres a 3-goal lead back. Sharks made it interesting, and then he caps it off with an empty net marker as the hats come raining down here at Key Bank Center. They've certainly had quite a bit to cheer about here lately in this building. as it's great to see Western New York have something to cheer about this late in the NHL season. So Jack Quinn with goals 13, 14, and 15 on the season for his first career NHL hat trick. And the Hats are getting cleaned up here on the ice in Buffalo as their Sabres lead it 6-3 over the San Jose Sharks, looking to extend their Pacific Division lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning to 4 points. As it stands right now in Tampa Bay, the Blue Jackets and Lightning are in a good one. It's 4-2 Columbus in the third period. 2 goals by Connor Garland has them on top on the road, and the second of a back-to-back over the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have been in pure disarray since the Olympic break. And they look like they might start falling behind the Sabres here in this Atlantic Division chase. So finally back underway as the Sharks win the ensuing faceoff. It's dumped into Sabre ice, but Buffalo's going to get right back out with it. Malenstein on the far wing dropped it, and a shot here that came off the side of the net by Krebs goes back to the corner, and now back on it for Buffalo's Carrick. To the near side, it's Michael Kesselring. His shot caught there with the right-handed catching glove of Askarov, and he'll take another whistle. We're down to 2:22 now in period number 3. So again, next time you'll hear from me, it'll be on Sunday from Montreal, as the Montreal Canadiens will host the Anaheim Ducks. That'll be a terrific one. Both of these teams will be coming off the heels of a back-to-back for that meeting. The Ducks will be in Ottawa on Saturday, the day before, a tough meeting. The Canadiens will host the San Jose Sharks on Saturday. Those will all be good games, all 4 of them, or I guess all 3 of them. You got the Sharks and the Habs. You got the Ducks and the Sens on Saturday. And then on Sunday, you could join me for Anaheim and Montreal. So face off to the left of Askarov. Sabres control. Benson spun it on net. Went off a skate to the far wall. Big Logan Stanley played it back behind. Hopefully Sabres fans get a much better viewing, party out of him in the coming games, as he now has the puck near his area, but Toffoli has him out of position, and now here comes Eklund the other way, as now Kesselring has to defend on the left side instead of the right, as for some reason Stanley bit up in the offensive zone, and it ends up being nothing for the Sharks anyway, as Kesselring will just send it the other way, and Desharnais chases back. Around the Shark goal, it'll go to the far wall, grabbed by Misa, sent ahead now, and here comes San Jose's Toffoli, snapping one right on net, and Lionel stop that and stick it to the near side. So we're down to the final 2 minutes now in this one. Sabre fans starting to leave already, as empty seats have started to form here in the 100 section, as they had their entertainment. They had the wave, they had the hat trick. They decided, let's beat the traffic, and I'm sure the atrium is going nuts right now at KeyBank Center before the rest of the fans join everybody and head to the parking lots. So this city of Buffalo, they haven't clinched a playoff spot yet, but it's been 14 years in the making. And now with under 20 games to go in the regular season, it's starting to feel a bit more surreal, as this building is going to be electric in round number 1. And the best part about it is, now that they're in first, we have no idea who the partner could be that they dance with. Part of me thought it was going to be Montreal for the longest time, but it could be anybody at this point, because Tampa Bay has clearly shown they might not be the division favorites, and that's not to say that they might not be the Eastern Conference favorites, but the Buffalo Sabres here are going to walk out of this one 6-3 winners against the San Jose Sharks, as the fans rise to their feet. The clock strikes zeros, and this one has gone final in Western New York. So a 6-3 win for these Buffalo Sabres as they continue on the warpath here in the Eastern Conference, as they are now at 86 points in the standings, and right now, as it stands, that's going to tie the it won't tie the Carolina Hurricanes, as now that I look, they have taken the lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins, but they will be second in the Eastern Conference with this win, 2 points behind the Carolina Hurricanes for the 1 seed, and 4 points ahead of the Tampa Bay Lightning for the Atlantic Division lead. So a final here of 6-3 in Buffalo, as the Sabres make it 8 wins in a row. So a recap of the scoring here in this game. Opening it for the Sabres was Jack Quinn. It was the first of 3 for him. His 13th of the year made it 1-0. Assisted from Jason Zucker and Ryan McLeod. And then, right after that, it was Alex Tuch on a deflection just a minute and 27 seconds after the Jack Quinn opening goal. Tuch's 28th of the year on the Dahlin shot made it 2-0. Dahlin 45th assist on the season. Then Macklin celebrated his 33rd goal of the year and 90th point. Made it 2-1 as the Sharks got on the board. Then Beck Malenstein from Krebs and another assist from Dahlin made it 3-1, a highlight reel goal by Malenstein. Then Jason Zucker's 20th of the year from Quinn and Power. Then Sherwood in the final 30 seconds of period number 2 made it 4-2 as he got his 20th of the year from Ferraro and Wenberg. And Jack Quinn, 42 seconds into the third, got his second of the game as he made it 5-2 Buffalo from McLeod and Dahlin, as Dahlin got his third assist of the game. Then Alex Wenberg on the power play from Toffoli made it interesting 5 seconds into that power play, but that was all she wrote for the Sharks as Jack Quinn capped it off with a hat trick with the empty net goal, Ryan McLeod's third assist of the game. And the Sabres warpath continues. It's 8 in a row for Buffalo. So again, 6-3 the final, and you'll hear from me, yours truly, Jaric Rubel, on Sunday as the Montreal Canadiens take on the Anaheim Ducks from the Bell Center. Looking forward to that one over on Sunday. As for now, you can head over to the other stream on this channel. Seth Eves is live covering Siena versus Merrimack for the MAC Championship in college basketball. But I'll talk to you all Sunday from Montreal. Buffalo wins it 6-3 over the San Jose Sharks. A hat trick and 4 points for Jack Quinn, 3 assists for Dahlin, 3 assists for McLeod. And the Sabres continue on as they'll play Washington on Thursday, as I bid farewell from Western New York.